Yes, I'm talking about the Will Smith slap.
Oh, wow.
Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Renee. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great Monday so far. We all know how Mondays can be a little hectic. You're coming off the weekend. So I said let me come on here since I have some quiet time and some downtime because the little man is taking a nap. So I'm gonna try to make this really quick. So I wanted to come on here and just chit chat with you guys for a while. I don't know if most know, but I don't really talk about it much, but I have a condition. It's called alopecia, and I'm gonna try to tell you a little backstory without getting emotional. I have my trusty phone here with all my notes, so forgive me because sometimes I tend to forget because, you know, it's an emotional situation for me. And again, I'm just telling you how it makes me feel. This is my story. I'm not speaking for anyone, or I'm not telling someone else who has the same condition how they should deal with it, but this is my story and how I deal with alopecia. So like I said, I'm gonna give you a backstory. How I ended up losing my hair. Well, long story short, when I was back in college, you know, you're trying to be hip and cool. I used to color my hair and perm my hair, and I wouldn't give it a break. And then I would also put braids in my hair. And for you who have braids, sometimes braids tend to pull your hair out. So after college days or whatever, my hair started to grow back, and my hair fell out when my son passed away. I believe it was due to a traumatic, stressful situation. But yeah, when my son passed away, my hair started to come out in clumps. So I ended up having a whole lot of, like, you know, patches in my head. It's funny enough, my hair in the back, that stayed, but of course I still have patches in the back as well. But I don't have hair, and of course I'll insert pictures for you so you can see how my scalp looks. But my hair started to come out in clumps when my son passed, like I said before. So I was getting injections in my hair. I would get injections in my scalp at least twice a month. I would go for treatment to do injections in my scalp. Those hurt like hell when I tell you. Sometimes I would end up with a migraine after the treatments. Most times my scalp would bleed. It was just horrible for me. So I stopped going for injections because I'm like, listen, this hurts too bad. And that was years ago, and I'm still struggling with it. It was quite some time. I'm not going to give you the exact timeline, but I have been struggling with alopecia for quite some time. When that happened, it's like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it made me feel sad. Most times I'm depressed. Most of the time I get angry because I'm like, well, everybody else has hair, or everybody else shaves their hair and the hair grows back. My hair takes a long time, again, because of my condition. Like I said, I have my notes, so if I forget. But yeah, it makes me sad. I have embraced my condition. However, it still makes me sad because people pass a lot of judgment sometimes. Sometimes people will ask, well, why do you wear wigs, and why do you always have your hair wrapped? And honestly, sometimes I'm not comfortable taking off my wrap, and I say that because of society and how they look down on, want to say, African Americans, because it's this big stigma. Oh, your hair. Oh, if you lose your hair, you're sick. Or, you know, they pass judgment or assumptions, because even family members do that. Because when my dad passed away and I went to his funeral, I did not cover my hair, and I did not wear any wigs either to the funeral service. And I was told by another family member, well, actually no, by a couple of family members, that there was whispering going on. Oh, she come at the funeral and she not have no hair. Does she have cancer too, like her father? Because my dad passed with prostate cancer. So it's like an assumption. Oh, she not have no hair, and what happened to her hair? She sick, or she have cancer, or this and that. I mean, the assumptions is crazy, and not taking into consideration how a person would feel with a bald head. Now, my thing is, not every female is comfortable shaving their head, especially when you had hair before. It's not like I was born with a bald head and I had no hair at all for my whole life. It's not like that. So before people can pass assumptions and assume or just automatically think that you have that C word, I hate even repeating it, but please don't pass those judgments on me, and don't even put that on me. I don't have none of that. The condition I have is alopecia. Instead of assuming, you might want to ask, because dealing with this at home is hard. Like I said, I cry majority of the time because I would love to have hair. All my kids have thick, nice, long hair. Everybody around me has thick, nice, long hair. I'm the only one with no hair. So, you know, even sometimes being at home, I get, you know, a little bit self-conscious, and I don't really like to take my wrap off my hair in the house. I know I'm around family, and I know they love me no matter what, with hair, with hair, without hair. It doesn't matter to my family. But to me, because of the way society can make me feel, or make a person feel with no hair, it's tough. It is tough. And like I said, I'm going to try to talk about this without getting emotional, because it chokes me up all the time, because of the assumption that goes along with a person that's bald. Okay, let me take a sip of my drink. Okay, so like I said, I have my notes. Now, I'm sure that a lot of females can relate. When you get your hair done, when you get your nails done, it does something for a woman. Now me, I don't have the luxury of getting my hair done, and it sucks, but it's something I have to deal with. All I can do is get my nails, eyebrows, and feet done. I don't have the luxury of going and sitting in a hair salon and you know, getting my hair washed and all of that stuff. What I usually do is wear wigs, and I wore wigs for years. When this just happened, I wore wigs for years, and I would interchange like every 2 weeks. I would also get like they call it the quick weave. It's where you put, you know, the stocking cap or whatever, and they just glue some hair on the cap or whatever. I would do quick weaves. I would wear wigs. I would have so many different wigs, so many different styles, colors. But it was until I moved to Florida and I met my current boyfriend now. And when I met him, it's so weird, because when I met him, he would always ask me, what's under your wig, what's under your wig? And I'm like, why are you so concerned with what's under my wig? And he's like, I'm into natural hair. I love natural hair. I love a woman's natural beauty. So, you know, I got a little tired of him asking me. So one day I said, okay, I'm going to tell you what's wrong. why I always wear wigs and why you'll never see me without my wig on my head. And he's like, well, what's going on? What's wrong? And I told him I have alopecia. And the first thing he said to me was, which never happened before, how can I help you grow your hair back? And I was like, wow, I guess everybody isn't an asshole or insensitive to my condition. It's just something hard to deal with. So I do have a couple of vlogs on my channel as well where I was just like over it, and I did not want to put on a wrap that day when we were I think one of them is of us I was making sushi with my kids, and I want to say the other one is when we took the baby to the park for the first time, but I'll link those videos below so that you guys can go back if you choose to watch them. But yeah, I said let me just jump on here and talk to you guys for a little bit because it's a real thing, and I'm sure that there are a lot of women. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be us African Americans that is struggling with this condition. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I mean, I'm sure that some women, if not most, that has alopecia, they have embraced the bald head, and they have, you know, accepted that the hair sometimes might never grow back, you know what I mean? But me, I'm still struggling with that because, like I said, I'm someone that had hair. It's not like I never had hair, you know what I mean? That's not the case, and it makes me very sad. Sometimes it makes me depressed, and I cry. Sometimes in the car I cry, sometimes in the shower I cry by myself because I don't want to cry around my family, because of course, like I said, they accept me for me, hair, no hair, but I am struggling with it. And lately I have been struggling with it even more so because, you know, especially in the hot months. I live in Florida, so it's hot here. I don't always want to have the wrap on my head, and when I go to the beach or the pool, I have to put on a wig. I don't have to, but I choose to because, like I said, I really don't want to have to deal with people staring. I remember when my boyfriend shaved my head for the first time, and this was right before COVID, and we decided to go to eat. And we decided to go to eat at a buffet. Of all the places we're gonna go to a buffet to eat where there's people. Oh boy, I felt so out of place and so uncomfortable. But the crazy thing was, I got so many compliments by people, and it was just shocking to me. Of course, you might get a 1 and 2 stare, but it was just so shocking to me. Okay, guys, so we had a brief intermission because little man's up from his nap. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was saying that I was so shocked to see the reaction when we went to the buffet, you know, the day that I shaved my head. But nevertheless, like I said, it's a challenge for me dealing with alopecia on a day-to-day basis. Some days I'm happy, some days I'm sad, some days I embrace the baldness, some days I don't. It's like an up and down roller coaster for me, but I am going to continue to try to deal with it as best as I can. I did find a new product that I'm going to be starting in the next few weeks. It's a natural product, so stay tuned for that. Like I said, I will make sure to insert pictures on my hair loss, or not on, but of my hair loss and what it looks like now underneath my wrap. And as for the videos that I previously did on my channel, like I said, I'll link them below. But now it's time for my ranting. So Ethan, so what brought on me deciding to come on here and do this sit down with you guys now was, of course, because of what happened yesterday. Stop, Ethan. What happened yesterday on national television. Yes, I'm talking about the Will Smith slap.
Oh, wow.
So here's my thing. And again, this is my opinion. I am entitled to have an opinion. Now, I don't know what the day-to-day is in their relationship, and really and truly, it's none of my business. I'm just speaking from my perspective and from someone that also deals with alopecia. It's a very depressing situation at times, and it puts you in a very sad mood at times. Yes, you might see her dressed up, and yes, you might see her in the glitz and glam and the makeup and all of that, but you have to understand that when the two of them is home alone, where there's no cameras, no none of that, I'm sure he has to deal with her sadness and her feeling depressed probably at times. And again, it's my opinion, but the way how he approaches situation, I'm sure that any man that has to deal with a situation like that would have done the same thing. As well as that's his wife, and like I said, regardless of what's going on in the relationship, it's none of my business, and it's definitely none of yours. He still have to protect his wife. Now, from men are hunters and men are supposed to be protectors, and that's what he did for his wife yesterday because she was being cracked on. That's not funny. And especially, like I said, we don't know their day in and day out what they have to deal with off of camera, because listen, people will show you what they think you need to see when the cameras are rolling, but we don't know what happened behind closed doors. And again, it's none of our business, but he probably has to deal with her emotional side. She had beautiful hair before she was diagnosed with this, I'm sure, and she had to shave her hair. So before anybody can fix their lip and say that it was wrong what he did, and he was on national television, and it's a black thing. Oh, it's another black screw up by another, a black person or whatever the case may be. Come on, like, he has to deal with a lot, I'm sure, off camera, so before anybody can crack jokes, I just personally think that whenever you're cracking a joke or writing a joke, I think family should be off limits. So when I say family, like your spouse, your children, anything of that nature, you shouldn't use someone else's family and or their life to make a joke out of it, because it's not funny. And you should also keep in mind, what might be funny to you is not going to be funny to the next person. So another intermission. I came back on here. I just want to close by saying that we all need to be very mindful of what we say about each other, and sometimes it really doesn't have anything to do with race. It's just feeling disrespected. And before you can fix your lip to pass assumptions and or crack a joke on somebody, make sure you know the full extent of what the joke is going to entail and what it's going to do to someone else, because like I said before, what might be funny to you might not be funny to the next person. And this condition here, alopecia, it's no joke. It is no joke, because as women, we have this thing where if your hair look a certain way, you're gonna be judged about it. So listen, you're gonna be judged with hair or without hair. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. He who feels it knows it. And when I say he who feels it knows it, what I am saying to you is he has to deal with his wife being sad, I'm sure, sometimes because she lost her hair. So he feels it, so he knows it, which means that he did what he did.
She did what he did.
Yes, assistant. He did what he did because he felt like his wife was disrespected. And any man would have done the same thing because, again, you have to protect your queens. Like my brother said to me this morning, as men, yes, baby, as men, you have to protect your queen. So with that being said, you guys, thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.